जब मैं छोटा था, मतलब बचपन से ही मुझे हमेशा से ये सवाल हमेशा आता था कि ये मतलब क्या है ये सब, मतलब क्यों आए हैं हम लोग यहाँ, क्यों हम सब ये सब कर रहे हैं, जो कुछ भी कर रहे हैं। तो ये एक बहुत ही मतलब पता नहीं, दिस क्वेश्चन यूज टू हॉन्ट मी लाइक एनीथिंग growing up. Two questions: who am I and what is the purpose of this life or whatever we are doing. But I did not get the answer to these questions, but the questions changed altogether. The answer to the first question, who am I, is that I am nothing. I am an insignificant speck of dust in this flowing universe, uh, whom no one will remember after 100 years. And so you are nothing, not in a nihilistic way, but the identity that I call Supreet is just for you. Because if you are not there, if I am sitting alone with myself, I don't need that identity of Supreet, because it is just a placeholder given for the convenience of society. So, Supreet does not justify who truly I am. It is just a placeholder to identify with me. A sound, a sound given to identify a a sound given to identify a small insignificant person in this universe. So what is the purpose of my existence? So firstly, who am I? I am nothing, no one, nobody. I may be superior to you, I may be a son to my parents, I may be a husband to my wife, I may be a friend to my friends, but when I'm alone, I'm no one. Because this identity collapses as soon as I am alone. And once the identity collapses, then there is nothing. Then there is just complete you. Because there is nothing beyond that what is sitting still doing nothing. A lot of times we think that doing nothing is wasting time. But remember, as a child, when we used to sit and do nothing because we did not have anything to fill up the gap. And we used to just sit and be bored. But now boredom has been replaced by social media. So we don't get bored enough these days, because we always have something or else to do, or we can watch something. There is infinite amount of content on the internet that can consume not one but 100 lifetimes of a human being. But yeah, so what is the purpose of my existence is the wrong question. The correct question is, what is my play in this life? Because you don't want a purpose to exist here, because you are not, you were born without your choice, and you are going to die without your choice. So having purpose in something that you have not chosen for yourself is a wrong way to approach life. This is what I have realized for myself. So I don't want to have any purpose in life. I just want to play in life. As life happens to me, I just want to exist and just be there and watch what is happening rather than reacting to it. Because I think reaction is the main cause of suffering. So do not react, do not judge, just observe what is happening. Don't try and give meaning to what you see. It is not, you are not seeing it to judge it, you are just seeing it to observe. Just see and learn what you are able to learn from it. Do not question it, do not judge anything whatever is happening. You just have to be there and experience life as it happens to you, every breath at a time. I think this is what I have understood. And regarding purpose, I tried it for so many years. Purpose, it, like, if you have purpose, then you are not free anymore. To be honest, you are not free. You are again then tied to a lot of karmas, and then again that will put you back into the spiral. So life shouldn't have any purpose, just you need to trust your instinct. Try to listen to that inner voice, that what it is saying, because it is always guiding us. But no one is going to tell you the answer. It is not going to come to you. It will only, there is a probability of it coming to you only and only if you are searching for it. It is very important that you need to go and search for it. No one is going to come and tell you the answer of these two questions: who am I and what is the purpose of my existence. You need to have that inquiry from within. Nobody in this world can tell you the answer to that, because people can guide you, people can show you the way, but no one can answer it for you. You will have to answer it for yourself. And I think I have the answers, and I feel light once you have the answers, then it like there are no more questions in your mind, and then life becomes much more easy. Crazy life. ये जो कैरेक्टर है सुप्रीत, ये कैरेक्टर जो होता है ना, ये सिर्फ यादों से बना है. There is nothing behind that story. Those are just memories stacked on top of each other in a sequential way, because that is how our mind stacks or stores data, and a story is formed. But that story does not has, how do I say it, that is not what the story is not what you are. That is what I want to say. The story is not what you are, because what you believe the story is a story that is created by your own mind, and you are trapped inside that story, feeling the struggles, feeling the suffering, feeling not happy, because you are not happy with the things how they are. But the question is not how things are. The question you need to ask is, कि why am I not able to accept the truth, and why do I want life to be in some specific way? Why is it that everything you every each and everything, your body, it everything is automatic, all you have to do is just feed it and you're okay. Rest everything is done automatic. If each and everything apart from eating is done automatically, then why do we think that we thinking life be should be in a specific way, that how we want, is, I think, a very shallow idea to begin with. Because if everything is automated, then how can you control your life? Or why do you feel the need to control your life? I don't know, man. uh, I am lost in my thoughts. These are just raw thoughts, whatever that is coming to my mind, that I am just. It is that identity. Crush your identity again and again until you realize that you are nothing. Letting go is not a one time process. ये जो आइडेंटिटी हमने बनाई है ना, वी विल हैव टू डिस्ट्रॉय दैट आइडेंटिटी. दैट इज द that is the most difficult part, because our life is built around that identity, and if we lose that identity, there is nothing. We break the foundation of our life structure if we break that identity. So it becomes very difficult. Your thoughts about reality is not the reality itself. The reality is just there, and we see the reality, and then we think something about that reality, and we think whatever we thought about the reality is the reality. But that is just your thought of the reality, and not the reality itself. It's your thought. It is not the reality. Because everything happens in your brain. Your thoughts are trying to make sense of what is happening and creating a story around everything so that it makes sense. But that story in your mind is a thought about reality, or a series of thoughts about reality, but that is not actual reality. That is just a thought. This is the most interesting thing I find. Whatever you know is an evidence of what you don't know. The more you know, the more you realize that there is much more to know that you don't know. And then there is even more you don't know what you don't know. So basically, we don't know anything. Nobody knows anything. This is the good thing about philosophy, कि nobody knows anything, that what it is, why are we here. And once you know nobody knows everything, and everyone, what everyone knows, you also know that, then it becomes easier to live. This is funny, right? Your thoughts actually pollute you. You are pure. You are without the thoughts. When you think about something, you start creating pollution in your mind. So stop thinking so much. It's not helping. There's this line about Osho that I really like. जन्म एक दिन अचानक घटता है, मृत्यु एक दिन अचानक घटता है, फिर इन दोनों के बीच में तुम कर्ता होने का कितना पागलपन करते हो. कर्ता, कर्ता, अहम, मैं, मी, आइडेंटिटी का पागलपन. लीव द आइडेंटिटी एंड यू विल बी फ्री of everything. Now what do I mean by leaving the identity? Leaving the identity means the identity is to identify you as something for which you will be helping the other person. So whenever I am with my wife, I'll be the husband. So say for example on a scale of on a timeline scale of 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus. So you need to be 0, you need to be nothing. So when you are not with anybody, you are nothing, because this identity of the name is not required. The identity is only required if there is plus 1, right? So when there is an identity of wife plus 1, then my identity of plus 1 husband has to play by its dharma. Once she is not there, or maybe once I am not observing her, or she is away from my observing side, and when I am alone, I am nothing again, because this identity is only required for the other person. It is not required for yourself. So when I am all alone with myself, I am nothing. When I am talking to my old friend, then I become a friend. I take the identity plus 1 of a friend. Then when I disconnect the call, again I come back to 0, nothing. See, we have this face. We were not supposed to see our face. Look at the mechanics of this body. Without a mirror, you cannot see your own face, but you can see the whole universe with these two eyes. So you are not supposed to see the face, because we have committed a sin by looking at our own face, because this face or these eyes were given to us to look at the world and love the world outwards. But we saw ourselves and we fell in love with our own self. We became self-obsessed, and then this whole problem, whole thing became a problem, because we were not supposed to see our own face. That were the mechanics of the game. But we have broken the rules, and now we, instead of loving everything that you can see, you fell in love with something that you could not see by default, and that became the problem. You became obsessed with your own self, with the identity of me. You need to detach from this identity, because once you are detached with this identity, all the pain and suffering and everything is lost with that identity, because everything that you are suffering and everything that is happening to the identity that you have built. And this whole suffering and this whole sad story of suffering is going on in your head, which your mind is repeating back to back. It is like it's on autoplay, on repeat mode inside your head, like a commentary. So So that's I lost my thought actually. What I was saying, I forgot. Just let me stop this and see what I was saying. Since I was recording, I have the option of going back in time, which otherwise you cannot. And I'm back. Time traveled. So I was talking about how your mind keeps on telling you this sad story about how your life is, and that is why you suffer internally. So that's the whole thing. Yeah, I think I made my point. And this is just becomes difficult to record something because once the camera is on, I feel nervous talking to it about a particular topic, but once I get into flow, then it becomes easier for me to record. I'm just going through my diary and just looking at things so that some idea comes and then I can talk on that. Basically, धर्म मतलब क्या है? व्हाट इज धर्मा? धर्मा बेसिकली एक अपना पर्सनल पाथ होता है, एंड बेसिक आउटलाइन ऑफ धर्मा इज सत्य, हमेशा सच बोलो, अहिंसा, बी नॉन वायलेंट, डोंट हार्म अदर्स, सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन से रहो, जस्टिस एंड फेयरनेस, ऑलवेज लिव विद जस्टिस एंड फेयरनेस, टेक फेयर डिसीजंस, don't do favors, swadharma, personal duty you need to follow properly, respect and gratitude, you need to respect others and be grateful for the life that you have, karma and intention, you need to do good karmas and have good intentions about everything that you see. And that these are the simple things. These were taught to us in maybe UKG or LKG कि हमेशा सच बोलो. Once if you are true to this discipline, सच बोलो, don't lie, किसी के don't harm anybody else for your own benefit, always do the right thing. You know inside of you that what is the right thing to do. You just need to ask that question to yourself ki Supreet, is this the right thing that you are doing? And you know the answer inside of you, that what is the right thing to do, and always trust that answer. I always trust that answer. Is this the right thing that you are doing? And you know it inside within a fraction of a second that if you are doing right or wrong. Live truthfully, act with compassion, do your personal duty, serve with humility, let wisdom guide you, do your action without attachment. This is the repeating theme that you will see throughout Bhagavad Gita and what Krishna says कि you need to do your actions, कर्म करो, but उसके फल की चिंता मत करो. Don't get attached to the outcomes, because once you are attached to the outcomes, then you are gone. In life, no, we are always looking for control over our life. We want control. Whatever is happening, it should be in control. But it is not about control, because you are always trying to control what you want to become. But it is not about becoming. Everything that you need to do, everything that you need to know is already in the blueprint of your soul. Your soul already knows. You just have to remember. And how are you going to remember? By going inside, by sitting still, by doing nothing. Because doing nothing is also doing something, and it is the most important something that we need to do in today's day. because in doing nothing you will remember who you truly are. And that's the whole point, okay, knowing who you truly are. And to know, because once you know who you are, life becomes very much easy to navigate. Everything just feels like a flow. There is no resistance, there are no bad days, there's just life happening to you, and you observing life without judgment. This is the practice of future pravachans that I'll be giving to people. One day I'll become Hokage. When you're trying to become something and you enter the society and you figure out money is required, but there is also one more thing that society is playing games at, and that is status. Who's got the bigger car? And then this becomes the entry point to the destruction of an uh, how do I say it without hurting? This becomes the entry point to a life of illusion built for others to see. I don't know if that made sense, but somehow we never try and find who we truly are, but we are trapped in some weird model of success that we follow, which is based on money. And not everyone might want money. Not all people want to define success on the basis of money. At least not me. Because money can be earned in a lot of ways, legal and illegal. It does not justify the true potential of a human. Some people might choose not to earn enough because they know how much they need. And that is true living. Once you understand how much you need, and then you stop, and then you start truly living, those are true people who are living. Because there is no limit to money. It will never stop. It has infinite numbers. You can go up to infinite numbers. So there is no limit to that. So money is not the term for success, because you'll always find somebody who has more money than you. So that is not the judgment. What do you call? That is not the scale that I would like to see, because what I have realized is the person who the society calls mad is actually talking sense. बट सिर्फ सोसाइटी का मेजॉरिटी ज़्यादा है, इसके लिए उसको येड़ा घोषित कर दिया जाता है. दैट्स हाउ सोसाइटी वर्क्स. इट्स फनी बट दैट्स हाउ इट वर्क्स. बट द रियल थिंग इज़ कि जो येड़े बन जाते हैं ना, वो सोसाइटी को समझाने के लिए जाते हैं कि क्या सच है. इसके लिए वो येड़े बन जाते हैं. बट इसका एक यही तो है कि अगर तुमको सच पता चल गया है ना, तो यू कैनॉट एक्सप्लेन द ट्रूथ. it only benefits you, because everybody has to unlock their own truth. My truth cannot be explained to you, or even if you try and walk my same path, exact same, then also you won't be able to unlock it the same way. It will be a unique and difficult your own path, but you will have to question yourself and figure it out for yourself, because the brain it will create a question and it will also answer the question. All you have to do is just ask it to do. Ask questions. That's the main problem. Because of the conditioning of the school, we have forgotten to ask questions. You need to ask questions. That is the most evil thing the school does, is it suppresses your ability of asking questions, because it makes you satisfied with the definitions. But the definitions are not the reality. If you are satisfied with a tree word for a tree, then it is up to you. If you are satisfied, then it's all good. But if you are not satisfied with the word for what it actually is, then you need to keep on questioning, my friend. You need to keep on questioning. We have lost this quality of questioning, and somehow I don't know why people don't question. You need to start questioning. That is the gateway towards freedom. Not realizing the real truth behind our existence. So basically, इच्छा को मार दो. और ये जितना भी हम लोग ये हासिल करने की रेस में दौड़ रहे हैं ना, ये जब हम हासिल करते हैं तो ये हासिल करने की जो खुशी मिलती है वो बस वो एक मिली सेकेंड की ही रहती है, जब तक हम वो हासिल नहीं करते. जिस मोमेंट पे हम वो चीज़ हासिल करते हैं उसी मोमेंट पे वो खुशी होती है एक सेकेंड के लिए, और उसके बाद वो जगह पे कोई और चीज़ आ जाती है हमारे लिस्ट में जो अभी हमें चाहिए, और फिर हम उसके पीछे चले जाते हैं. फिर जब तक वो नहीं मिलती हम खुद के साथ एक कुछ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर लेते हैं कि जब तक ये चीज़ मुझे नहीं मिलती तब तक मैं खुश नहीं रहूँगा, और फिर हम उसके पीछे लग जाते हैं कि ये मिलेगा. और फिर जब वो हमें मिल जाती है तो फिर वही ट्रैप वापस कोई और चीज़ वो लिस्ट में चली जाएगी, एंड योर अटेंशन विल शिफ्ट फ्रॉम दैट थिंग टू अनदर मटेरियल ऑब्जेक्ट. And that's how they are built. That's how products are made, to attract you, so that you will give your hard-earned money and buy them. That's how capitalism works. But that feeling is temporary. That keeps on happening again and again and again. But then where is the happiness? Why doesn't the happiness stay continuously? I have been asking this question again and again. There need to be a space of existence where happiness is like permanent, and there must be a place where happiness is permanent. Har Har Mahadev. Mahadev, Mahadev. You need to mean what you say. That is how it is. Har Har Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya. Don't resist. Do not say it with your mouth. Say it with your stomach. And then it will work. Otherwise, it won't. Feels so much to be learnt or understood Actually, I have understood whatever I need to understand, but my mind is my mind just wants more. It won't stop. It won't stop until and unless I maybe master some siddhis, which I will in the coming years. I'm just currently in the theory phase. I'm just trying and understanding the surface of it, so that I will understand what all it consists of, so that then I can properly go deep on, especially uh, Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. I am interested in, because that talks about a lot of rituals and everything and mantras to perform, and that is something that I want to do. 1000 ज्ञानियों का एक मत है, एक अज्ञानी के 1000 मत है, सुबह एक और शाम को एक। अज्ञानी बन के घूम रहे हैं हम सब लोग इस दुनिया में, खुद को ज्ञानी समझ के। मैं भी था उनमें से एक, बट अब मैं कुछ नहीं हूँ, मैं हूँ नथिंग। अभी तुम मुझे क्या नाम दोगे, जो भी ये वीडियो देखेंगे, ये इट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू, बट दैट इज़ नॉट माई आइडेंटिटी. That is something that you will give for your own recognition. That is yours to think what that is, and whatever you think that is not who I am, that is just that is the story that you will build in your head about me. You are only doing that, I am not doing. You are just seeing me and you are building that story. But always remember, I am not that. I am not the story that your mind has built about me. I am something else that nobody in this world can ever understand. I myself, I am trying to understand myself, so no one else can understand anyone else. So I think we should stop judging everybody. Yes, and especially never judge a book by its cover, on the appearance or on the amount of money they have, or the type of clothes they wear. You cannot judge only. You need to engage with people in a conversation to get a glimpse of who they are, and you can never understand who they truly are. Only they themselves know who they truly are, just like how we know who we truly are. जिंदगी कैसी है पहेली, हाय, कभी हंसाए कभी रुलाए जिंदगी. Drop the story, drop the story, drop the story. You can upload a story on Instagram, but drop your own story that you're building in your mind. Drop it. Just drop it. Drop it. Just drop it. Drop your story. Drop your story. Be free and liberated. Drop the story. It's not you. It's not you. This is just coming through me. I don't know. This is like out of character. But then again, I'm not the character. I can be Even I am discovering this about myself for the first time. It's crazy now that I think of it. How am I becoming so free on camera? I don't understand now. Maybe it's broken the, what do you say? Broken the wall. Establishment. You need to understand what establishment is and how the establishment controls your life, because we don't live on this earth just like how every other species lives. Human beings chose to live differently. They chose to build establishments and structures with who control, with people with power control the majority. So these are different kinds of establishment you need to understand, because those animals are not living under the establishment, so the mother earth takes care of them. Since the establishment is built on earth and we live on earth, but we do not live freely on the earth just like other animals, we live on the earth inside of an establishment which is controlled by money. This you need to understand. Then you will understand why you are not living freely. And if you want to live freely without money, you need to live like animals. No, I was joking, but still you will need money if you want to get out of the establishment. The first thing you need to do is to save enough money so that you can buy at least 1 to 2 acres of land. 2 acres is preferable. It is like optimum. Once you have the land, you are free. You say how? See, why do you need money for? You need money to survive. What are your basic needs? Food, clothing and shelter. Correct? So if you have the land, you have food which you will have to grow and eat. You have the land where you can build your own house. You can stay there. You have 2 acres. You can build the farm. You can keep what you need. Sell what you overproduce. You will get money. With that money, you can buy whatever that you want to buy which needs money. But your basic, you can buy clothes, food, clothing and shelter. So food and shelter is taken care by the land itself. Clothing you can buy with the excess food that you grow. You can sell them and you can get the money that you want. And this is true freedom, I believe. This is true freedom, because then you become less dependent on the establishment. Although you are still under the government establishment, but you get out of the rest of the establishments. But yeah, you need to break away from these establishments, political, educational. You need to challenge everything, challenge all the norms, because then and then you will come down to a truth. What you can do, you need to think independently. You need to control your finances. Decentralize your life. Reduce reliance on big corporations. Grow your own food. Learn skills. Build a community. Use alternative media. No, don't use media only. See, whatever negative is happening in the world, is been shown to you through media, and and you don't have any use of that information. As long as the 10 kilometers around you is safe, you don't have to worry about the world will take care of itself. You just focus on yourself and make sure that nothing wrong is happening in 10 kilometers around yourself, and you don't have to worry about the world. This is the problem. You are watching every all this media and all this news and all this negative information you are taking in, and you are trying to solve the problems of the world where you don't even know who you truly are. So I think it is important that we not focus on the media and what is happening all around the globe. We just need to focus on ourselves, because once you once you understand yourself, everything else will fall into place. Once you do become a farmer, you no longer depend on the leaders, because you take care of your food, clothing, and shelter. Those are the basic needs, and then you don't need leaders. And the moment you depend on the leaders, now you become weak. Then their decisions, their policies will impact your life, and we need to build a life that does not shake if the establishment falls, because we don't want to suffer because of their mistakes. I've been through once in COVID with my business, and I know very well how badly it can collapse your life if you are solely dependent on business or a job. So you need to have a place where no matter what happens with the government, with the world, you can still stay. You have a place, and you have a house, and you can eat and you can exist in those 1 or 2 acres. So that's that. And if you have 1 or 2 acres, then you are the king, my buddies. You don't have to work for anybody. I don't know why you haven't realized it, but if you even have 1 or 2 acres, you are the king, bro. Why the heck are you working for someone else? Just go and fucking do farming and live peacefully. Because why are you earning money to live? But you are not living only. You are working. Then you are not able to. If you are not living, then what is the use of that money that you are earning to live when you are not living? So fuck that money, fuck that job. Go back, go to your farm, start farming, take care of food, clothing, and shelter, which you easily can with whatever farm you have, and live the life that you have. Fuck the establishment, fuck money. तुम्हारी इच्छाएं ज़्यादा है, इसीलिए तुम्हें दुख है. If you truly, these brands and everything, they have brainwashed us in believing that we need them in order to survive. But like, if you're logical, really, did your grandmother used any of these products? Did she require a shampoo? Did she ever require a soap? She had nature's alternatives with her. You have seen it. I don't want to get into particulars. And those were very natural, and those were very good for our health and for our everything, for nature itself. And now what we are doing? They have somehow convinced us that natural is bad and something chemically made is good, which requires money, which requires a job or a business, which requires you to participate in the establishment. But nature gives you everything that you need. We don't need toothpaste to brush our teeth. We can do that with coal, we can do that with a lot of with the neem ka ped. So see, this we have been brainwashed through advertising by the establishment, so that we feel that we need all these things that are sold through money, and then we feel a to need the money, get the money to fulfill those fake desires that are implanted in our minds through advertising. That's the reality, my friends, because I have been into the world of business for the past 12-13 years, and this is the truth that no one will tell you. Ethics, there are no ethics in this industry. There is no right and wrong in this industry. They do not care about the customers, they do not care about anything. All that we are to these corporations are numbers, and merely that. And major problems that we have, all the diseases that we have, are caused because we consume all these products made by this establishment, made by these corporates who do not have ethics, who do not have any dharma left in them. They don't understand what is good and bad for humanity. They just want profits. They just want profits, and they'll do anything to keep that graph green. And it can be anything, even if it harms the customer, they don't care. They can convince you about anything. They have that power, they have the capital, they have the technology, they have the everything. They have everything to rewrite your brain in making you believe that how badly this thing, this flashy thing, you need. They'll make sure that you will feel the need of that materialistic thing yourself. It won't be ki they are saying ki buy this. No, they will advertise and market you the products through movies, through TV shows, and subtly integrate it everywhere around, so you will feel that only you are not having it. They'll make you feel a sense of FOMO, and then you go and buy it. so these corporations, most of these corporations are evil. That is what I believe. You might have a counter opinion, but I don't care about your opinion. This is what I feel the world is, and this is how it is. With all those chemicals they are putting in the food, crazy. Crazy how life is. अभी ये तुम सुन रहे हो, मेरी बातें सुनते हो, बट एक जॉन एलिया का एक शेर है, वो मुझे बहुत पसंद। कौन सीखा है, अर्ज है, कौन सीखा है सिर्फ बातों से, कौन सीखा है सिर्फ बातों से, सबको एक हादसा जरूरी है। तो ये सब तो ठीक है, ये जो ज्ञान वाली चीज़ें हैं ये सब ठीक है, ये तो तुम्हें सुनने में अच्छे लगेंगी, मस्त लगेगा एकदम थोड़ी देर टाइम के लिए कि ये कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग बात कर रहा है, बट जब तक वो हादसा तुम्हारे ज़िंदगी में नहीं होगा वो हादसा ज़रूरी है। कौन सीखा है सिर्फ शब्दों से, सबको एक हादसा ज़रूरी है। तो जब तुम्हारे ज़िंदगी में वो हादसा होगा, तब तुमको जो समझना है तुम्हें वो समझ जाएगा, और तभी समझेगा हादसे के बाद। हमें पता है, एक मतलब हमारे साथ ना एक ही सिर्फ एक ही चीज़ है जो गलत है। क्या है वो चीज़? वो चीज़ ये है कि हम सोचते हैं कि हमारे अंदर कुछ गलत है। सोचना इसके बारे में, वापस से देखना एक बार ये रील।